He is risen. He is risen indeed. Ready? Okay, here we come. Let me stand right here. It's okay? Check. Check. That was a real one. He is risen, and he is risen indeed. That is one of the confessions that the early church would publicly profess when they came together corporately. It was this greeting, it was this salutation. They said it as they said goodbye. They confessed it one to another and corporately. And I love the fact that if you listen closely, it's almost this confession of doubt and encouragement. Is he really risen? There's a story that the writer of the Gospel of John put in the post-resurrection that was just for us. And it's a peculiar story. It's one I often wonder is there. The women have seen the empty tomb. Mary has seen Jesus. The two disciples on the road to Emmaus had Jesus suddenly appear to them, walk with them, and then when they realize who he is, disappear. The rest of the disciples, minus Judas, in a locked house, have Jesus appear, except for Thomas. And then it says, 8 days later, that they're in the room again together, and Thomas is with them. And prior to that, Thomas had said, unless I see his hands and feel his side for myself. It's almost as if the disciples are telling Thomas, he's risen. And Thomas is doubting. And 8 days later, while they're gathered together again, Jesus appears and singles out Thomas and invites Thomas to touch his hands and touch his side. And it's at that moment that Thomas looks at Jesus and declares, my Lord and my God. And then Jesus says something really interesting. He said, blessed are those who have not seen and yet still believe. That's me and you. The fact that we still believe. Now, the post-resurrection accounts really cause three questions to come to my mind. One of the questions that I have is, how come Jesus just didn't show himself to everybody? How come Jesus just didn't show himself to the Pharisees, to the Sadducees, to the Roman governors, and once and for all show to the entire world that he truly was God manifest in the flesh? He didn't do that. Why did Jesus keep reappearing and disappearing and reappearing to his followers, and not all together at once? And I really don't have an answer for that. But one of the most interesting things that causes me to question is that when Jesus resurrected from the grave, complete, total life and health, everything was healed except where the nails went into his hands and the spear went into his side. And it's almost like he's telling Thomas, feel the place that caused great suffering. Feel my suffering, and then you'll believe. It's interesting in all of the post-resurrection accounts that Jesus meets his followers at their weakest points. He comforts Mary while she's grieving. He restores hope to those who have lost hope on the road to Emmaus. And he even calms a doubting emotion and sensation in Thomas by letting Thomas touch him. So let me ask you this. What if things never get back to the way they used to be? You know, one of the signs of maturity and growth is being able to understand that things and seasons and people will change, but you still stay steadfast through it all. And for the disciples, even though Jesus was risen and the conqueror of death, things would never go back to the way things used to be. But yet, they were still able to declare, you are my Lord and you are my God. With all of our grief, all of our lost hope, all of our doubt, are we able to invite Jesus into those moments honestly? Because if we do, it's in those moments that Jesus will appear to us. God bless you, Crossroads. May the Lord bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine upon you. Good?
Love it.
Cool.
Stay right there.
Okay. I stuttered a little bit, but I think...
Nah, that was